Hi, what's up? We're in the next pod. Please go check out the previous pod. You have to check out the previous pod to gain the context of this part, okay? Otherwise, it's not going to map to you. I was explaining to you guys how it is that the world gets destroyed ultimately because it's got an effeminate spirit, like a female, a girly, like girlhood. It's literally got 365 days of girlhood. That's what's good. The earth is on that DL tip, like it's on the Dylan Mulvaney tip in Revelation. It's causing managed brands to become girly, but the day's gonna arrive when ain't nobody gonna be fighting Bud or protesting against it or boycotting its beer, alright? Because like some chick or some dude that wants to be a chick is used to basically disregard its customer base, okay? The day's gonna arrive when they have allowed a feminine spirit to run the earth, essentially a Jezebelian spirit whose feet go down to death, sending the entire earth to the flames of hell. When a matriarchy is running the earth, like through the influence of bad women, men then make decisions to girl up the earth. Ultimately, because men were the ones given authority to run the show. When now some chick is running the show, they're gonna get passive aggressive, inevitably. It's just what happens. Guys, you know, y'all be lying. Y'all would be lying to me. Women that have got the best friend, not banna only, but like gay men. Women that have got gay male best friends. I beg of you, please, to lie to me right now and deny the amount of jealousy that you feel from your gay bestie in comparison to other women. How much more exorbitant is it? I have never had a gay best friend, but I have had gay friends. As a woman back in the day when I was on the come up, before I lost everything, I had friends, period. Among them were gay guys. And I have never gotten more eyes, attitude, and passive, not, I guess you could call it passive aggression, but you know, guara, dissing, teasing. I have never been more teased and mocked than guarad, and low-key, underhanded, second, backhanded compliments given me by my gay male friends than in comparison to women. Women, y'all know girls can be gangster. Like, you guys know that women can be, hey man, this chick will be literally a frenemy on fire. You guys know that women are horrible like that, right? We can really stab each other in the back. But when women, those of you who have got the BFF tabana that are not in the closet, but that are out, the flamingo, when you've got gay best friends, their envy, you would be lying to me if you said that their envy is not more exorbitant than that of your female friends. And y'all know female friends can have it in bad for each other. You would be lying to me. I have gotten spares, hairstyle, like, yo guys, one time I went, this time around it wasn't my friend but the friend of a friend, and I was already born again at the time. I visited this one friend of mine at her apartment, and she was having a little, you know, high tea, get together, little cocktail finger sandwich thing, and I went to go see my girl, and she had some of her own girls there and a gay friend. And guys, the way that this guy made me feel so trashy all night long, dissing and mocking I was wearing a full face beat, right, but I was wearing blush on my cheeks and some mascara. He kept on mocking how it is that I look like, he compared me to some cartoon character, and some, you're a black girl, I don't understand what's up with black girls wearing blush. Like, who says that? Like, how do you just offend a person you don't even know? He was like, I don't know what's up with you black girls and wearing blush. Blush is for white girls because it looks natural according to them. Where have you ever seen a blushing black girl? I had blush on my cheeks, and this dude mocked my blush. And even when I was introduced to him, hi, my name is Karabo, hi, my name is whatever his name was, the way that, you know, like, just attitude, guys. In the way that I didn't even get attitude from the me, her female friends that were there. I was the only stranger among them all, in the sense that I knew only my colleague and friend, but I did not know anybody else, but they knew each other. So that guy made me feel even more like an outsider. He made me feel like even more of an outsider. Like, the handshake was like, you know, it's like he saw me. And also another thing about me is that, okay, out of, like, my friend was older than me by 3 years, and so her girls were also more or less older than me by 3 years, right? And they were big girls. My friend Diana herself was also tall and not so big, but she was medium sized, but I was a tall and slender girl, right? And I was younger than everybody else in the room. So basically I just looked like this fresh, vibrant, beautiful young thing in the environment that this guy has never had to compete with in his circle of girlfriends. He was like a flaming flamingo, very flamboyant gay guy that had friends that were all kind of, you know, these chubby older girls. Well, they were not that much older. 3 years is not that much of an older gap, but like the one friend of my friends, for instance, was they're not very chubby, but she had a lot more girth on her body. And my friend, they just looked more mature and fabulous indeed, because they were these career women and whatnot, but I was the one that was I was a flower among them all, if you know what I mean. I was the skinny, tall, model-looking girl in the presence, and it's almost as if this dude wore this competitiveness with me when I walked into the room. And when I was introduced by my girl to him, in the middle of all the introductions that I was being put through in the room, he like banana peel, handshake, clappy clappy, like banana peel on some hi, almost as though he was like assessing me. The way that girl attitude can slap you upside the head when you don't even know anybody, but it was coming from a guy, and he gave me the greatest attitude in the room in comparison to all the other girls. And all night long he kept on picking at my outfit, picking at my makeup, picking at my eyelashes, like he was just on my case, and he made me feel as tiny as a mustard seed. And I was like, why was that guy coming at me like that? Why was he climbing on me, pouncing on me like a beast like that? And that was not the first gay dude that I've ever experienced this with. Just a cold spiritedness, mocking my outfit. What are you wearing? What's with the shoes? Like, guys, they women, you would be lying if you basically try to pretend that your gay friends are not more abrasive to you when it comes to offending you and talking you down than even your female friends that can also be quite, feisty. You would be lying. You know where that's coming from? The fact that they're not you. The fact that they're not women. They are competing with men on women on a grander level even than just what makeup are you wearing. They are competing with women even on a grander level than just what degrees did you study, what your body looks like, is your face pretty, things that women compete on. This time around they are competing with you, or they are jealous of you. You know how women compete with one another over the things that they don't have. Like if your friend is prettier than you will then envy her. If she has studied harder, or if she gets better results in school, or if she gets a promotion, you will envy her because you're in competition. How in the world do you then take in your stride a jealousy that is competing with you on all of those things? Your prettiness, your a degree, your education, how well spoken you are, and on top of that, the fact that you have a vagina, and the fact that you have actual breasts with breast tissue, mammary glands, the fact that you have got or like a softer, sweeter, squeakier voice, the fact that your bone structure is a particular way, the fact that your hands are a particular size. Like when a man is coveting the size of your feet because they're small, what in the world? How do you deal with that exorbitancy of envy? How do you even, like, literally, it is envy the way that girls envy each other, and it can be barbaric and beastly, but on additional steroids, because this time around they envy your actual physiology, your biological makeup. They envy the number of chromosomes you have. There's nothing you can do to overcome that. So it explains why that girl in the US was killed by her trans friend. Go in Mexico, you can go look up Storyseller. I forgot the name of the girl. Alright. It also explains why it is that some like your gay friends are the most critical of you. You guys know that. Women, you'd be lying if you basically said that my gay BFF does not tease me, diss me. Think about men, for instance. How frequently, straight men, how frequently do you get, when you are dating a man, mocked and teased by him for the outfit you're wearing? If that way, I'm not speaking of abusive relationships. You do get guys that will just be flat out Ike Turner in your grill. They don't count. They're a small percentage. But if you're in a normalish relationship, how frequently does your guy just easily mock your weight? The fact that you're gaining weight. Will he not lie to you even when your jeans are a little bit too tight? Will he not pretend that you look good just so he doesn't offend you? Will he not say that your cakey makeup looks excellent today? Will he not claim that you know all that acne on your face is actually making you look more human, and so you're beautiful the way that you are? Will he not claim and pretend during your pregnancy that your stretch marks are actually beautiful when they are menacing? You can see them in the mirror. Do normal men not tend to buffer the blow of truth on women? They do, guys. Men, straight men, when they are normal and not abusive like Ike Turner, are not just going to tell you that, what color lipstick are you wearing? You've got too much makeup. Aren't those jeans too tight? Aren't those shoes, like, couldn't you get a different color? Oh, are you gonna wear that? Men will just let you go to a ball wearing some ugly, menacing dress before they tell you change it up. You're gonna embarrass me. They would much rather take that in their stride than have to make you sad, if they're normal, because you do get some pretty abusive gangsters, but like I said, they don't count in this particular regard. I had, with my own personal experiences, my ex-boyfriend watched me fluctuate in weight, like up and down like a yo-yo. He didn't say a thing. Poor thing just dealt with a heavier girl and a thinner girl and a heavier girl and a thinner girl, and the whole time he kept telling me I was beautiful. I'm pretty sure he had some opinions about it, especially considering when I was fatter I looked older than him, but he kept quiet and he made me feel like I was the most beautiful girl in the room. There was a time when I had broken out into like some pimples, and he just kept quiet the whole time until I took the pill, and what is this, the pimples faded on my face. Didn't say a thing, didn't say a single thing. Do you understand? Yeah, well, well, that's a normal guy. But a guy that's in the closet or a gay dude is super critical of his girls. He will tell you how bad your shoes are, how bad your acne is. Guys, even your girlfriends will lie to you sometimes about your acne. They will lie to you sometimes about how much weight you've gained because they don't want to make you feel sad. They will just be like, oh, you look cute. Come on, girl. You'll be alright. Aww. I'd say, oh, your like belly fat is sticking out of that shirt, girl. And nobody likes you like that. They will try to buffer the blow, but they call it being friends. They'll call it being honest. Like, I'm a good friend, but no, it's jealousy on fire. And it'll chip away at you. They chip away at their female girlfriends, best friends, I guess, in the very same way that a very abusive husband would chip away at you by telling you that you look terrible during pregnancy, you're fat, that your stretch marks are horrible. Like I said, an abusive husband, you know the way that a jealous, abusive husband would speak down to his wife, mocking even her beauty, calling her ugly, comparing her to other women. Yeah, well, gay friends have got similar character flaws to abusive boyfriends and husbands, guys. They do. The way that they speak to you, their verbal abuse is literally on the same level as Ike Turner. Y'all know that's true. Their verbal abuse is on the same level as Ike Turner. They'll be the first person to say that your orange blush is heinous. Not blush. Your orange blush on your cheeks is heinous on your face. Who in the world says that to a complete stranger, a woman that they'll never see likely again, who goes and just mocks, like picks away at her blush? They wish they were women. They wish they were us. And if at all that's what you do to a person that you are jealous of, you talk them down. So deny or confess as much as you want women with your gay BFFs. Bottom line is they've hurt you more than some of your best female friends ever have, and even your deadbeat boyfriend does not speak so badly to you more than your gay BFF. They want to be you. So if at all gay men can be like that towards women, what then when an entire global citizenship has allowed itself to lose its patriarchal edge and panache and pizzazz for a matriarchal one? What then when historically or previously powerful men are now run by an effeminate spirit? What then when a planet has been taken over by the alphabet agenda? How much more will something that is supposed to be masculine, when it has been taken over by something that is feminine, how much more will the previously masculine energy get aggressive against the female energy? So if at all somebody that was either previously a man or still a man, because they're not trans, they're just gay, when they get aggressive, jealously slow, so against the fact that the whole earth is now a girl, and they now want to show their power because they want to take back their power, the only way out of this now is through violence. It's an iron fist, guys. We are dealing with gender-based violence. We are dealing with a beastly system that wants its manhood back by any cost necessary, because that's how God intended it to be. And so because it's stronger physiologically, it's going to conquer the female with just one blow, just a pin underneath, like literally just squashing it underneath your fingertips, your thumb, and it's over. So women, you get ended. You literally get ended. Story Selesa, I wish I could get that woman's name who got killed by her trans friend. Like, she got beaten up by her trans friend until she died in Mexico. It's a whole story in the United States. Go Google it, you'll know it. Literally a similar thing is going to happen at the end of the ages, where these men who insist on being women are going to hate their manhood being taken from them, because now the matriarchal spirit is running the show, and they're going to take it back by force, by kicking out of the way. They're going to despise the bad girl. So women, in telling men, in causing the patriarchy to eat off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you bring collateral damage on yourself, like I said in the previous part, right? I did. So in bringing collateral damage then onto yourself, you basically kill yourselves by the fact that you're the ones that convince the whole world to become a little more girly. When they are now girly, they are then going to covet you as a woman, and so try to coo and conquer you. They're going to tease and mock at your cheeks. They're going to diss the color of your lipstick. They're going to diss the heels that you're wearing and tell you that you can't walk in them the way that they can walk in them more fabulously. They're going to diss the fact that you got cellulite and they don't, because they're men. They're going to diss the fact that you got stretch marks and they don't, because men tend to have less of them on their bodies. They're going to mock the things that you struggle with as a woman, like water retention, in a way that men just don't. Weight gain in a way that men just don't, especially in the younger years. They're going to mock things that you struggle with just because you're a girl, and magnify themselves above you, and then after that hate it when the whole world has finally agreed to be girls, but those people in the world that aren't actually girls but are men, but hate the strength of girls, because remember, strength was given to men, girth was given to men so that they could run the show with efficacy. And now when a woman is basically running the show with efficacy because men have allowed themselves to be made girls, these guys are going to be like, but that was my job. That was my job. To run the world was my job. Who run the world? No, Beyonce, I'm sorry, you're wrong. So they're going to turn their backs on Beyonce and stomp her underfoot. And they're going to prosper to stomp her underfoot because she's a girl. And she is very frankly just cannot deal with the crushing of a man's foot on her chest. She's not going to be able to survive that. She does not have the strength to survive men making a decision that I want my manhood. No woman is going to run me. Oh, so when it's convenient, now you want to be a girl. Now you want to be a man, sorry. And Revelation 17 is how that culminates. Revelation 17 is how what happens when it basically explains how the Lord is going to judge the fact that you've allowed a feminine spirit to run the world, but the masculine energy is going to want to come back and kill the feminine spirit. So gender-based violence is literally a whole end times agenda where men that relinquished their rights as men to women are going to forcibly take it back by stomping them underfoot, by forcing them to go back into the Stone Ages, to be Wilma Flintstone again. They are going to literally bewitch women's careers so they can't work. They are going to force women to marry them, to accept polygamy again. They are going to want things the way that they used to be. But after all this progress has been made, the response by women is going to be resistance. And when women resist, men are then going to take it by force. And so carnage, bloodshed, enmity on the floor of the human race between men and women is going to be the end result. Let me read Revelation 17 so you can see how this is a total fact. Okay, Revelation 17 speaks of basically the end result of what happens to a female spirit that cooed men, that convinced men to do stuff, that convinced kings of the earth to commit fornication with her. Thyatira, the church of Thyatira, Revelation 3, that letter, you have tolerated the woman Jezebel. Churches like those, systems like those on the earth, where they've tolerated an effeminate spirit that's running the show, and then the masculine spirit wants to come back with like a vengeance and a force. This is the end result. When you allow Jezebel to run the show, this is how that Jezebel ends. This is how she gets killed. She gets destroyed because men want their lordship back. Revelation 17, the great prostitute and the beast. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, come, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute who is seated on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed sexual immorality. Remember I said this, like women, you're the ones that convince CEOs of companies to transform their entire strategy to conform with the alphabet agenda. You have convinced your male heterosexual hot-blooded like CEO to get in bed with Satan. You made him eat the fruit. You have made him commit sexual immorality, and this is how you get judged. With whom the kings of the earth have committed sexual immorality, and with the and with the wine of whose sexual immorality the dwellers on the earth have become drunk. So you have convinced the whole world to embrace the satanic ideology. And look, this is not just about, just to put that out there, because then that's not good exegesis or even hermeneutics or even exposition. It's not just about the alphabet agenda. Do you understand? It is about how it is that Adam and Eve's fall from the garden culminates to the end of the world, and the war between the genders contribute to the end of the world as we know it. Just the contention between them, the disagreement, it feeds into this. It can be paralleled. Do you understand? It's like the parallels between 2 Timothy 3 and Matthew 24. For instance, they both speak about the end of the world, and the whole book of Revelation with Matthew 24. It's a myriad of sins on earth. Just the intricacy of God, guys, is out of this world. The myriad of sins in the world, how they can also be tied into passages of scripture to show how God just generally deals with certain kinds of sins, right? So how the Lord deals with just the disregard of his order for roles between men and women, the 2 human beings made in his image on the earth. What ultimately happens in the end can be seen very analogically, metaphorically, and allegorically in Revelation 17. So I'm not saying that Revelation 17 speaks only of the alphabet agenda. I'm just saying allegorically and metaphorically, this is how it all comes to an end, and it is tied to literally everything is interwoven. Everything is interlinked to the beginning, the fall with Adam and Eve. Now that you have that context in mind, do not accuse me of heresy and claiming that Revelation 17 is about the alphabet community. It is not just about that. It is exactly what it is. It's about global harlotry, global rebellion of global leaders against God. But those very leaders, as we speak today, as I communicate with you right now today, have come up with some kind of a manifesto in the United Nations to, more than anything, proliferate the alphabet agenda. Yona le nature, yona le Mother Earth, yona le climate change. The two of them, like climate change and the alphabet agenda, are the resonating points in that manifesto. Yeah, the United Nations that they just recently released. So if those 10 kings of the earth are currently talking about that, then you must understand that those very same 10 kings of the earth and the beast that are pushing these agendas are ultimately going to be at enmity with their very agenda and bring low, probably this what is this community, and it's like a whole world made up of the cherry that I'm in type thing. Yes, the whole the beast system is going to turn against the same policies that put the beast in power. So this is how your life ends, members of the colorful community, in one way or another. It's interlinked here. Just understand it. Let's read this and then move on to the next part, because I don't like to speak for too long at any given moment. Okay, cool. How much time do I have left on this memory card already? Let me just read from the top one last time without stopping to interrupt. Okay. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute who is seated on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed sexual immorality, and with the wine of whose sexual immorality the dwellers on the earth have become drunk." And he carried me away in the spirit to the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast. So essentially, I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't stop, but I'm going to stop. A woman sitting on a scarlet beast. We are talking about this effeminate spirit. We are talking about this Jezebel that has caused the kings of the earth to commit fornications. She is riding the beast. The beast would be the masculine energy. The beast would be the masculine force. The beast is the male component of this whole thing. But who is riding the beast? The woman. The world is literally a matriarchy at the end, even though it is a matriarchy that is run through a man, just like Ahab and Jezebel in Israel. Do you understand? The king was Israel. Sorry, the king was Ahab, but Jezebel was running the show. Just like with the prostitute right now, where the king or the beast is going to be these 10 kings who are going to give their power over to the beast, and so therefore there will be one king, the Antichrist. However, the beast, the prostitute, is going to be riding the beast. When you are riding a horse, where does the horse go? Does the horse go where it wants, or does the horse go where you charge it to go? The horse gallops in whatever direction you will have it go. It turns in whatever direction you will bridle it to turn. The horse does not do its own thing. So if this woman is riding these 10 kings, she is the one that is dictating their policy, their decisions as the United Nations. The effeminate agenda is running the world, but the world, the men who run the world, are going to turn against it. The 10 kings of the earth that are going to give their power over to the beast, they're going to hate the harlot. They're going to hate this prostitute. So women, when you make yourselves Jezebel whose feet go down to death, you make sure that in the end, the men that you caused to corrupt the whole earth will turn against you and kill you. So if you're a bad woman, your life does not end well. It doesn't. Because the very men who celebrated you in the very formative years of your glory when you were on the come up, they're going to hate you. They're going to turn their back on you. They're going to trample you underfoot. So don't pride yourself in being a seductress with pheromones oozing off your neck. But when men walk past you, they faint because they're taken over by your influence. In the end, they're going to hate you because at the end of the day, men are supposed to rule, not women. They're going to hate that you have that much authority over them. Men inevitably wake up from the slumber of being run by women, and when they do, they get violent. So for you, when you women allow yourselves to run men, your future is bleak. Your future is bleak. These dudes going to come around and make out of you meat. Let's read. And he carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was full of blasphemous names, and it had 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, so opulence, okay? She's just rich. She was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and jewels and pearls. holding in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the impurities of her sexual immorality. Hey guys, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Especially that about you have been proliferating agenda A colorful. You are in trouble. And on her forehead was written the name of mystery, Babylon the great, mother of prostitutes and of earth's abominations. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints. Are we not being, what do you call this, all deplatformed and stuff on YouTube just for speaking out against this agenda that I can't even call it what it is, but rather speak of the alphabet or the colorful, lest they should bring me low. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. When I saw her, I marveled greatly. But the angel said to me, why do you marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns that carries her, the beast that carries her. Ban, the men that are happy to put on their shoulders wicked women, this is you. The beast that you saw was and is not and is about to rise from the bottomless pit. Look at how he's the opposite of Jesus, who is and was and is to come, and go to destruction. The beast that you saw was and is not and is about to rise from the bottomless pit and go to destruction. Okay, and the dwellers of the earth whose names have not been written in the book of life from the foundation of the world will marvel to see the beast, because it was and is not and is to come, and is not and is to come. Literally the opposite of Jesus. Okay, this calls for a mind with wisdom. Listen, the 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman is seated. So these are nations. All right, there are also 7 kings, 5 of whom have fallen. 1 is, the other has not yet come, and when he does come, he must remain only a little while. As for the beast that was and is not, it is an 8th but belongs to the 7th, and it goes to destruction. That would be the devil, right? We all know how he gets destroyed in Revelation later on. I think it's 20. And the 10 horns that you saw are the 10 kings who have not yet received royal power, but they are to receive authority as kings for 1 hour together with the beast. These are of one mind, and they hand over their power and authority to the beast. Okay, they will make war on the lamb, that would be us and basically all the hordes of heaven. They will make war on the lamb, and the lamb will conquer them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and those with him are called chosen and faithful. And the angel said to me, the waters that you saw where the prostitute is seated are the peoples and multitudes and nations and languages. So the whole planet has been infiltrated by this literally diabolical agenda. Okay, and the 10 horns that you saw, this is where it gets good. They and the beast will hate the prostitute. The 10 horns that you saw, they and the beast, so basically the masculine spirit of the earth that was supposed to run the show in the patriarchy, they end up hating the fact that Jezebel has run them all this time. This woman has gained influence over all the nations of the world. She is literally she's on many waters, which are the multitudes of the earth. Now, when a woman gains all that much power, when she gains all that much power, men are like, I'm sorry, power was supposed to be mine. And then they gather together as men in their misogynistic man caves, and they come up against the Jezebelian spirit. Men don't like to be run by women, and any man that is claiming to be a feminist is a liar. I'm just saying. And I saw the angel said to me, the waters that you saw where the prostitute is seated are peoples and multitudes and nations and languages. And the 10 horns that you saw, they are the beast. The 10 horns that you saw, they and the beast will hate the prostitute. Okay, they will make her desolate and naked and devour her flesh and burn her up with fire. That is the end of any Jezebel woman. Literally, they get conquered by their own strategy. They get eaten alive by their own strategy. I made mention of how it is that because of Eve's sorrow against the Lord, Adam ended up becoming literally the bane of Eve's existence. You are the one that instigates an initial horrific agenda, and then you are the victim of it. Women have become the biggest victims of their own indiscretion. I can't say that enough. Devour the flesh and burn her up with fire, for God has put it in their hearts. Listen, okay? They will make her desolate and naked and devour her flesh and burn her up with fire, for God has put it in their hearts to carry out his purpose by being of one mind and handing over their royal power to the beast until the words of God are fulfilled. So basically the prophecy that God gave Adam and Eve at the garden as to how he's going to basically fulfill their judgment and also ultimate reconciliation to him, it's being fulfilled right here in Revelation, in the sense that this is how I will reconcile Adam and Eve back to me. They are going to literally finish each other off, and a remnant of them will get saved. The battle for Furan, they're going to be at war, loggerheads with each other. Literally, calamity and strife will never leave their household. And this will be because they will be at loggerheads with each other. They will have different ideologies all the way up until the end of the ages, until both of them have grown so beastly in their indiscretion that the stronger force, the masculine force, will be charged to consume the feminine force that wasn't supposed to run the show in the first place. And that's God fulfilling his word, in that you can't go against what I have prescribed and imagine that you're going to be cool as a going concern, as a human race. My precepts are perfect and pure. I tell you, do A, B, not because I am megalomaniacal, but because it's unsafe for you to do D and E. Okay, of one mind, handing over their royal, it's like sin is bad because it is harmful. It is not harmful because it's bad. It's bad because it has horrific consequences in the end. That's just the thing about sin. So when God says don't fornicate, don't engage in same-sex relations, it's good for you, your spirit, it's healing to you, but you do it anyway, and in the end this is how you go out. Like literally, you women that have proliferated the alphabet agenda and made men embrace it, the very alphabet people are going to come back against you on some I'm the man here, and they're going to club you to death. Yes, like it. They are already doing it, taking over your freaking bathrooms. For God has put it in their hearts to carry out his purpose by being of one mind and handing over their royal power to the beast until the words of God are fulfilled. And the woman that you saw is the great city that has dominion over the kings of the earth. So basically Babylon. And that's what comes in Revelation 18. There are so many parallels that you can use to explain how this whole thing ends. So I'm going to now move on to the next part to help you understand how this all ties in to the corruption I have endured and the dream that I got that is confirming that the rapture is at the door. And these are literally the final little minutes of gathering data to help people repent, perhaps before the rapture and in the tribulation, so they won't follow after the beast and the prostitute anymore, since you absolutely are besotted with them now. Next part.